Post grad is nothing is free. Freaking out on the inside. I'm super anxious because I have no idea what's about to happen. Okay, now what? What's up, everyone? It's Christina J here to empower you. And today we're having a real honest conversation, and I'm going to tell you what it's like in these streets as a post grad. I have been post grad for about 2.5 years, so this is all that I've learned. I'm super excited to share that knowledge with you all to kind of demystify what life is like after college. So, before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more empowering content and join our amazing family. Did you do it? Okay, now we can get into it. Them first couple of days are brutal. I lie to you not. You're in for a rude awakening. I'm not kidding. I was waking up at 5 a.m., going to the gym, reading my word, cooking breakfast. I was getting online about 8, getting off about 4:35 o'clock. And on Friday evening, when I came home after I took a shower, I went to sleep. I was so exhausted. So just know the transition period from college to corporate is going to be tough. And I think one of the hardest realizations for me was sitting down on my bed Sunday evening and realizing, wow, I got to do this all over again. right back to it. So just know that transition period will be tough, but as with anything, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Get used to change. For a person who doesn't really like change, I chose a very interesting career because I work in consulting, so things are literally always changing. But even anybody who is looking to work in technology is growing and changing at such a rapid rate that things are always going to be changing in your industry. You're going to have to be upskilling and learning what the new tech stuff is all the time. So just be prepared that just because you graduated college does not mean that you stop learning. You have to learn on the job, but even outside of your job, you still have to learn. Now you have to learn how to manage your finances. You have to learn what it's like living alone when you've been used to living with roommates. So it is an adjustment for sure. Obviously, college prepares you for something, but it's different when you're fully on your own outside of a college campus. And one of those changes is you will lose friends. I think any transition that you have, whether it's from middle school to high school to college, friends that you had in high school aren't the same friends that you have in college. Some of them you lost and some of them you kept. And in the same way, once you graduate college, there will be some friends that you keep and there will be some friends that you don't. And it doesn't mean that you have beef with these people. It's just things change, life happened. They don't play that same role in your life in that same capacity as they once did in college. And that is okay because we're all on our different life paths. If anything, adulting will teach you who your real friends are. And you might be surprised at what bonds and relationships that you create with people outside of college. And it's not to say that the friends that you were once close with in college, you guys will never be close again. It just simply means that once you graduate college, we are all on different paths. And with different paths come different friendships and different relationships needed in that season of your life. As I said in my life lessons video, you have some friends who are still living at home with their parents. You have some friends who are going to close on their first house. You have some friends who are getting married, and you have some friends who are having kids. So adulting looks different for everybody. And so you just kind of have to used to your friendships looking different in this season. The friendships that you have with people will not be the same friendship that y'all had in college because now y'all live 8 hours away, or now y'all live 3 hours away, or now they have a family. And not to say that you aren't a priority, it's just that things shift. And so just be prepared for your friendships to look a little different from how they did in college. With that being said, it will get lonely at times, especially if you are moving to a completely new city or living alone. You will be spending a lot of time by yourself. In college, it's pretty easy to meet people because people your age are confined to a certain mile radius, a college campus. And there are a plethora of events for you to go to that interest you or you may be interested in, where you meet people who have your same goals, who like the same things as you. And so it's easier to create friends and build community on a college campus. However, when you graduate and you are adulting, it's a lot harder to find your community because now you're not only trying to find people who have the same interests of you, but also are the same age as you. With a city being so large, it just takes more effort to really find your group of people, and that takes time to find. In college, kind of cool with being cool with everybody, even if they might be a little bit different than us. But when you can become an adult, I feel like we become a little bit pickier about who we choose to be friends with, because if you want to know where you're going, look at your friends, right? Your friends have a big impact on where you end up in life. And so you want to make sure that you are choosing wisely and finding people who are going to challenge you, who are going to edify you, especially when it comes to being a follower of Christ. You always want to cultivate friendships with other believers who are going to push you on your walk with Christ and make sure that you are, living according to his word and have that accountability. Post grad, you will find your voice. As I said, you're more than likely might be living alone. I was living alone when I first graduated college. And with that, I had to be more vocal about standing up for myself and making sure that I was getting the services that I paid for. And so you will naturally find your voice because you have to. You literally have to, unless you want people to gyp you out of your money or overcharge you for things that you shouldn't be overcharged for. You have to talk to somebody and say, hey, yeah, there was a discrepancy. You charged my card for this, but really this was the price. So you will just gradually use your voice a lot more. And I will say, with being younger, I feel like people don't take you as seriously until you prove that you are worthy of being taken seriously. I don't think worthy is the right word, but people like to take advantage of young people because they believe that we're naive, we're new to adulting and how life works. And so some people will try to get one over. So it's just important that you seek godly counsel for any new endeavors that you are looking to do. Ask your parents for advice for those big time decisions because they know how the game works. They've more than likely been through what you're trying to accomplish. So having someone have your back in the background is going to be super helpful to make sure that you are getting a good deal and people are not out here trying to play you. Okay. Out of all the lessons that I've said, this one is the hardest for me, and I'm still struggling with it right now. That is, uncertainty is inevitable. From the time that you were a little kid, your parents have kind of guided you on what your next step was. From pre-K, you're going to kindergarten, elementary school, you're going to middle school to high school to college. And then once you graduate college, it's okay, now you secure the good government job, corporate job. But then once you get the corporate job, it's like, okay, now what? Yes, you want to get promoted, maybe climb the corporate ladder, but I'm understanding that you can have a purpose that's not tied to your job. But now that I have the corporate job, and I'm very grateful for it, do not get me wrong, but I just question, maybe God has something different in store for me that's not. Maybe I'll be with another company, or maybe I'll be doing something completely different that I didn't even get a degree in school for. And me being a planner, I hate not knowing. I'm like, okay, God, what's next? Where am I going to be in the next 6 months? Where am I going to be in the next year? And so it's taken a lot of me to surrender my control and surrender my plans and my desires to God, knowing that he has my best interest at heart. It's been tough. I've been I want to control, I want to give it to God, I want to control it, I'm going to give it to God. It's like this constant tug of war when I'm freaking out on the inside. I'm super anxious because I have no idea what's about to happen. But then I look around and I'm like, none of this I had in my plans of where I am now in life. Actually, I wasn't planning on staying where I'm staying for as long as I was planning on going back to my hometown, but God was like, yeah, no. So now I'm like, okay, God, so I know you want me to be here, but here for, we don't know. I don't know yet, but I know that God will tell me when the time is right. So that's kind of how life is. It's really just like you're in a movie and you have no idea how it ends. And so I'm trying to find the beauty in not knowing. And that has been hard. So be prepared. If you have tips, please leave them in the comments because I would like to know. You will have to create your own structure. Obviously, it's up to you to show up at your job on time. Make sure that you're getting the hours needed so that you can pay your bills. But outside of that, it's also on you to go to the gym. it's on you to meal prep and go grocery shopping and find those routines that work for you. When I first graduated college, I was going grocery shopping every week because that's what my parents did. Then I realized that's not really working for me. I don't want to spend all day in a grocery store every single Saturday. I just don't. It doesn't work for me. So I changed it to going grocery shopping every 2 weeks. And I also do grocery pickup so I don't have to be in the store in these long lines all the time. And that's something that worked for me. In the same way, post grad, it's a lot of learning what works for you. What works for you to get you to the gym? What works for you so that you can have a sense of stability and sanity throughout your week, knowing that you are going to be working. It's expensive. Okay, life is expensive. When you're younger, you're kind of hidden from how much things cost because somebody else is eating up the cost for you. If you go to a restaurant, your parents are paying for your meal. If you and your family go out to eat or go to the movies, your parents are paying for your movie ticket. Once you're an adult, you're paying for everything. And that phone bill that, disappeared throughout college, maybe for you, now that phone bill is on you, and that car insurance. And you start to realize just how expensive everything is. Like nothing is free. Nothing is free. And it's crazy. It's crazy out here, really. Inflation, whew, she's a doozy. And there's just a lot more things to pay for. Had a headache with how many bills I had to pay. So I recommend that if possible, once you get a good understanding of how much you're getting paid every 2 weeks or every month, try to put as much as your bills on auto pay as you can, just to decrease the amount of mental fatigue of remembering. If you can help it, you never want to pay a bill late. And also, I have videos on my channel about budgeting that has been helpful to help me live below my means so that you have money left over to spend, and kind of that mental space and clarity to be like, okay, I'm living below my means, so as long as I stay within this budget, I will be good for this month. Keep up with your doctor's appointments. As a student athlete, I was like, I was a student athlete in college. Like, of course, I'm healthy. But as you get older, things start affecting you a lot more. The things that you eat play a big role in affecting your body, how it works. So just making sure you're getting those checkups, you're getting those physicals is very important. I was super grateful that I had my physical this year because I was able to get ahead of some potential health concerns that could have been way worse in the future had I not known about them now. So please, 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 please stay up to date on your doctor's appointments. Don't be late. Schedule them, go to them, and move your body, eat right.